Hello, it's me, Mintystem, and I have been away for way too long. From what I've seen, it's a pretty popular opinion that ThunderClan has too many cats, and so does Shadow Clan and Sky Clan. ThunderClan has 44 cats, and 29 of them are warriors. Now, do you see a problem with this? Well, the problem is that with this many cats, it will be very hard to write about all of them. We don't know who any of their friends are, what their personality is, because there are too many cats. And every time a cat dies, 2 more are born, and that is what led to this problem. We should see these characters as real living beings instead of pieces of fur that we want dead. Cats barely die in this series, which is very strange considering they live in the wild. In the recent books, the Errands have done a good job in reducing the number of cats in ThunderClan, with Rose Petal and Berrynose dying in Veil of Shadows, and Flywhisker and Snaptooth becoming kitty pets in the place of no stars. In the blurb of A Light in the Mist, it says something about a final battle. But I can't pronounce that word. Anyway, now, wouldn't this be a perfect battle to kill off a lot of cats? Well, I think so. I also think The Place of No Stars could be a good book to kill some cats. The blurb states that suspicion and mistrust reigns among the 5 clans. Now, if this just ends up being a disappointing battle where 1 or 2 cats from each clan dies, it would be wasted potential. A final battle should be a bloodbath, like in The Last Hope where around 4 or 5 cats from each clan died. Well, adjusting it by how much the clans have grown since then, 7 or 8 would be a better number. Yeah, I've been keeping you waiting for way too long. Here are the cats that I think should die in these last 2 books of the Broken Code, or between it and the next arc. In case you didn't know, it's now confirmed that there will be an 8th arc. Number 1. Lionblaze. I know he's the acting leader of ThunderClan right now, but personally, I think that it's getting annoying having him around. His story has ended, he has done what he was supposed to do in life. Now his existence is just preventing other cats from appearing in the books and getting more development. Lionblaze is one of the cats that I think should die in A Light in the Mist during the final battle. I think dying in battle is a death that would suit Lionblaze. I also think that's best for both his character and for the story if he dies then. Thornclaw. Thornclaw's been around for a long time and is getting very old. But I don't think he should retire, it just isn't like him. And I don't want him to die off screen, I don't think any of us would like that. He has become kind of a meme in the Warriors community. So yeah, he should die in either The Place of No Stars or A Light in the Mist. I don't care which of them he dies in, but I just want him to die if he gets a good death and or death scene. Bumble Stripe. I just think that it's time for him to go. He's pretty young. Actually, he's middle-aged, but you get my point. But I don't think there's any reason for him to still be in the books. His story ended when he and Dovewing broke up. His relationship with her was basically his whole character, and now he just exists to be annoying. Cherryfall or Molewhisker. They are just boring background characters that contribute nothing to the story. The reason I only want one of them to die is because I want the surviving one to have kids. Listen, I do not like forcing others to have kids, so please don't get mad at me for saying that. Berrynose was the only one of his siblings, both full and half, to have kids. The only one of his siblings who is still alive is Molewhisker, and I think he's starting to get too old to have kids. This means that if Cherryfall or Molewhisker don't have kids, Daisy's bloodline would die out, and that would be very sad. I probably sound hypocritical that I want one of them to have kids, since this video is about there being too many cats. But I hope that cats will die more often in the next series, as that would be more realistic considering they live in the wild. Stormcloud. This one is kinda sad. Stormcloud used to be a kitty pet. That alone gave him so much potential to be a good character. but instead he was one of those characters who appears super much in one book and then is forgotten about. I would love for the Arians to do something with Stormcloud's character, but it's clear that they won't, so I don't see the point in having him alive when he's just there for no reason. Leafshade. Here's another character with wasted potential. Badass name, good character design, and on the rare occasion she's mentioned, seems to have an interesting personality. Unless the authors make Leafshade a more developed character, which is very unlikely, she's just a nobody and should, be killed a bit. Plumstone and Shelfer. Nothing much to say here. They had no potential to begin with and are just background characters that contribute nothing to the story. Plumstone is a unique name though, so that's good. Thriftier or Flipclaw. They don't contribute much to the story, even though they are one of the main protagonist siblings. It's also good for character development that one of them dies. If one of them gets killed, I'd guess it would be Thriftier. I think that death would happen in the place of no stars or in the beginning of A Light in the Mist. Greystripe, Brackenfur, Brightheart and Cloudtail. They are all really old now, and I think that it's time to have a new generation of elders. I think Greystripe will die in A Light in the Mist, and the rest of the elders will die between the arcs. Bramblestar. I think the majority of Warriors fans want Bramblestar to stay dead. It probably won't happen, but I hope it will. I'm tired of seeing him as leader. We readers need something fresh and new. And getting ThunderClan a new leader is a good start. I don't like him as a character either, so I want to stop seeing everyone talk about him in the books. He has been leader since 2012, now it's 2021. I'm pretty sure it's time for him to go. Rank changes. Here are the cats that I think should switch rank, excluding apprentices. I think that it's time for Whitewing, Birchfall, Daisy and Squirrelflight retire. They are the oldest cats in the clan, except for the cats I want dead, so I think it's time for them. It will also give a newer feeling to the Warrior series, as there are a new generation of elders as they are all from the second arc. And since Daisy is retiring, I think Fernsong should become a nursery queen or king, whatever it will be called. He's the only one who seems interested. Now to ShadowClan. It isn't as bad there as in ThunderClan, but it's still pretty bad. They have 31 cats and 25 of them are warriors. They don't have any apprentices or queens. As much as I want there to be less cats, I think a clan should always have at least one apprentice. And I'm surprised it's never mentioned that they don't have one, since it has always been kind of a big deal in the other books when the clan of the POV cat doesn't have an apprentice. An example of this is when Dovewing and Ivypool still need to do apprentice chores after they became warriors, since they were the youngest warriors and ThunderClan didn't have any apprentices. Anyway, enough with the babbling, onto the list. I want Cloverfoot to either get a major role in the next series or die. I'm getting tired of her getting pushed into the background. She's the deputy for Sarklan's sake. Either she should appear more in the next series or die, because if the Arians can't do something with her, they should get ShadowClan a deputy that they can develop into a major character. Tawnypelt. Look, I know we all love Tawnypelt, but she's getting old. She should either die or retire. But out of those two options, I think she would pick the first one. I think dying fighting for her clan is the death she wants. Many cats in her clan used to question her loyalty since she was born in ThunderClan but moved to ShadowClan when she was an apprentice. If Warriors is ever made into an animated series, I'm sure we could make a 10-minute compilation video of Resetfur calling Tawnypelt is loyal. Okay, who's Grassheart? She got pretty sick once, but that's all. I don't even know if Grassheart is a she-cat or a tom, I'm just guessing. Okay, I just checked the wiki, yes she's a she-cat. Poundstep. Both of Shadowsight's siblings are pretty minor characters, but out of those two, I'd say Poundstep appears less than Lightleap. I'd be okay with the writers if they killed a flight leap instead, but I'd prefer Poundstep dying. Sunbeam. She hasn't appeared once during this whole series, and her name sounds like what a 5-year-old would name the extremely overpowered superhero toy character. Oakfur. He has been an elder for a really long time now, and I think it's time for ShadowClan to get new elders. Rank changes. I want Snowbird and Scorchfur to retire. From what I know, they are the oldest warriors in ShadowClan behind Tawnypelt. And that's pretty much what I have to say about that. And though this is not really a rank change, I want Icewing, Hairlight, and Mothwing to return to RiverClan after the battle in A Light in the Mist. It's pretty bad in SkyClan, worse than it is in ShadowClan, but not as bad as ThunderClan. They have 33 cats and 27 of them are warriors. Cherrytail wasn't even in the allegiances until Darkness Within. I don't know much about most SkyClan cats, so I don't know much about who's been there for how long. I just used the wiki to check. Leafstar. She has been leader for a really long time. 1 decade if I remember correctly. It's time for SkyClan to get a new leader. She can't have many lives left, so I don't think it's impossible that she dies soon. Turtlecrawl, Pale Sky, Pigeonfoot, Gravelnose, Sunnypelt. Admit it. Except maybe Turtlecrawl, you did not remember that any of these cats existed. They don't contribute to the story and only exist to be in the allegiances. Turtlecrawl was a pretty interesting character in Lost Stars, then she was forgotten about. I think Turtlecrawl should die in Place of No Stars or in A Light in the Mist. With the rest, I don't really care if they're killed in these 2 books, between arcs, or in the first 2 books next arc. They're just there to be there and their death won't really have an impact. Fallowfern. Just like with ThunderClan and ShadowClan, I just think it's time for SkyClan to have new elders. Rank changes. The first one is that Hawkwing will be lead after Leafstar dies. It doesn't matter if I want that or not, he's the deputy, so it will just be like that. I want Cherrytail, Sparrowpelt, and Tinycloud to retire. They were all alive when modern SkyClan was created, which means that they are at least 10 years old, since that's about how long Leafstar has been leader, so they're old enough to retire. Okay, so I won't be talking as much about WindClan and RiverClan since there aren't many cats there that I want killed. In WindClan, I want Crowfeather to die. I know many of us want Crowfeather to be leader, but he's getting old. And if he does become lead, we would just have Mistystar 2.0, and I don't think any of us would like that. 2. Leaftail. No real reason, I just want him to die. I don't know why. Rank changes. I want Nightcloud to retire. She's around the same age, if not older, than Squirrelflight. I really think it's time for her to become an elder. I want Whistlepaw to become a Medicine Cat apprentice. She seems interested, and it's time for Kestrelflight to get an apprentice. He has been WindClan's only Medicine Cat for around 4 years. And by that, I mean 4 years in the Warriors universe. And remember that this is a series where most cats die middle age. So 4 years without an apprentice is a very long time. Now we're in the last clan, RiverClan. RiverClan doesn't really have any major characters except Mistystar in the current series. Unless you count Mothwing, Hairlight, and Icewing, but they're in ShadowClan now. Mistystar and Reed Whisker. Hold on, I want leader and deputy to die? Mintystem, what are you thinking? Well, this probably won't happen, but I imagine a scenario like this. In the middle of the battle against Ashfur in A Light in the Mist, Mistystar is killed. Reed Whisker, knowing well he could die in this battle, asks Icewing and Hairlight to come back to RiverClan. Mothwing won't be present in the battle because she's a medicine cat, and they accept. He makes Icewing the new deputy, then he dies in battle, and so Icewing is RiverClan's new leader. We don't know if she has had any apprentice, but she's old enough that she probably could have been mentor to any of these cats, not counting her kits. And I'm also assuming she's a kit at the end of the new process, she doesn't appear in the allegiances there. It probably won't turn out that way, but if that is what happens, I hope Minnowtail becomes deputy. I just really like Minnowtail. Podlight, I know, just a random cat. And those were all the cats I wanted. I think that around 15 warriors is good enough for a clan, and I think I managed to cut down the number of cats pretty well. But now we have another problem, the next arc. Let's take ThunderClan as an example. After the mass murder I just did, they have 16 warriors. However, the clan has 4 apprentices who can't be far from becoming warriors now, and assuming Spotfire will have 3 kids as most queens do in the series, it would mean that it won't take long before ThunderClan is up at 23 warriors. And then we're right back with the same problem. Now, what's the solution to this? Well, I mentioned it earlier, but I want cats to die more often in the next arc. They live in the wild. There's extreme cold and drought, extreme weather, dangerous animals like badgers and foxes, disease, falling branches, falling anything, infections, battle, starvation, etc. The list goes on. Point is, cats should die way more often than they do. Think about it. The only ThunderClan character deaths we've had in the current arc so far are Rose Petal and Berry Nose. And considering everyone was complaining about this harsh leaf bear and that the imposter was exiling everyone, more cats should be dead by this point. And that was all. Sorry for being away for so long. I'll try to not be gone for a year now. However, school is pretty stressful right now and there's a lot of work, so I don't know how often I will be able to upload videos on this channel. Well, see you next time.